Welcome to the latest dope episode of the HipPodHedz podcast. A podcast where no sage and no vac discuss their hip-hop inspired moments. Pull up a chair, grab a beverage, fill up your cup and get comfortable.
I'm Hayes, host creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcasts. And listen, I love what Known Sage does. Y'all make sure y'all go and check out his hip hop podcast as well, which is HipPodHedz. You guys make sure you guys check him out on that.
Another episode of HipPodHedz. I am No Sage along with Novak. We discuss our favorite hip hop moments, and I've been dying to get our guest on the show forever. I've been wanting to meet you, to be honest, bro. And Smoke Bonito, man, just welcome, man. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Welcome, bro.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I'm honored. I'm always honored to be, seen. Because I don't like to be seen, but when people, all those things, like the real ones know, I'm on some, like, let me be in the cut. You know my sound before you know me,
Yes. No, I'm glad you said that. Like, the real ones know your sound. Like, you definitely take me to a different place every time I hear any of your projects. And for real, yeah, I didn't even knew who you were until Iowa Rockwell did that B-sides joint with you. And I was like, this is something special. Who is this? What is this? Because I know Iowa Rockwell produces, but I was like, what?
Yeah, no, dude, what's funny? You say that, I always tell Gabe, me and Gabe, bro, I feel like I'm on some Dylan, he mad lib, real talk. As crazy as it is, that's the energy I get as far as the production. When we rap, I don't even know. When he's on my production, it's crazy to me too. I think it's just it's some crazy, but I love Gabe, bro. That's my brother. He's my favorite producer in a sense. I hear him and I'm freaking out. How'd you even get in that pocket? It's genuine magic.
I totally agree. I know that there's some other stuff you got cooking with him that hasn't been dropped yet. So I can't wait. I'm really eager. I already know y'all obviously got some other stuff out on the streams, but that's dope, man, that you were you got high praise for him. Cause when I hear you behind the boards, I'm like, man, Smoke got something special here. He's taking me to some old Woodlands, some Griselda vibes, but definitely on something a whole different plane. If I'm to be honest.
You give me Be Real vibes. I was listening to. I was listening to that Walking on the Wild Side. I was sitting there wow, you talking about doing burpees, nobody noticed. I started laughing. I'm like, man, I mean, it's clever when you think about it. Everything's clever. The production is nice. And you got your music episodic, you got different volumes of everything flows. It's almost like sitting on the porch with you, just listening to music is the way I look at listening to your style.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I've just been around a lot of cultures. I feel like I've been exposed to a lot of cultures so I'm from Mexico, but I grew up on the South Side. And then I lived in the suburbs for a little bit. So I've seen all this shit. I've been in the ghetto. I come from the ghetto. I've lived there. I've lived where the white people live. And then to end up in Chicago on the South Side and go through all that. So it was I remember being in high school and I would try to rap with all my kids. I went to school at Bogan on 79th and Pulaski. And it was predominantly black school. It was Mexicans and black people, but it was mostly black people. And I remember trying to rap in the ciphers with them. And everybody's rapping about shooting people, and this was the midst of the drill shit, and I'm over here talking about dropping bombs and spitting flames. And I remember one day a kid pulled me to the side and he's like, bro, are you a pyrotechnic or something? He's like, are you a pyromaniac? You're always talking about fucking spitting flames and dropping bombs. What the fuck are you meaning? You set shit up. I'm and it just I realized how over his head it was going that I'm just using metaphors and rapping like that. You're there, so I learned that essence of music,
Yeah, you talk about you. So you were at the Bogan. I went to St. Rita on 79th and Weston. So I know all about Bogan. You guys got that cipher over there by the White Castle. So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
that was before my time, man, for sure. Yeah. I was there 2014 to 2014 to 2016, and that was it for me. But yeah, it was just, I seen all sorts of aspects of it. And growing up, man, my dad, some of the first hip hop I ever heard was Dr. Dre, genuinely. I remember because I didn't meet my dad till I was older. So I was already like grown and shit. Like
Mhm.
not grown, but I was a kid. So I like had already developed the character. And I just remember like listening to like The Chronic, and he had like a killer bass. Like my dad's car, you could hear coming down the block type shit. Like I knew my dad was coming home because I could hear him down the block. And just listening to that, I feel like genuinely was like a pivotal moment in my life because like the first album I ever took into my brain as a sponge was like a Dr. Dre album.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like shit like that will fucking mold you and your sounds and just all your intake. You know what you're shown.
That West Coast influence, you can hear it. You can hear it in your production. You know, it's like it's real chill. I mean, it's not like Chicago. You know, you talking about the drill music. You get into that. I'm about to kill somebody vibe. You know, Chicago, the artistry sometimes gets lost because everybody angry. You know, I understand you about blowing up shit and everything like that. That's just recreational. So, so I totally understand that. You know, everybody thinking about blowing up something or what would be cool if that just caught on fire. So you know, everybody has those visions sometimes. It ain't nothing wrong with it. But you know, as you know, the rest of everybody, like you know, the South Side got its own style, the West Side got its own style, the North Side is those intellectual development type stuff, and then you know, you even got Chinatown rappers. You got people rapping in Chinatown now. I saw it the other day after my kid got out of school. I went to the Starbucks in Chinatown. There was three guys out there ciphering. It sounded like Griselda meets the Wolf. And I'm standing there just like, what the fuck? But you know what? It was nice. You know, I didn't understand. They're rapping Chinese. I didn't understand it, but I can understand the rhythm at that point. It's
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
that hip hop is evolving.
I love it, man. I love to see it. You know, because I just love music. You know, I'm a firm believer that at the end of the day, music is art, right? Because I've had those moments. Like I don't validate all music, but at the end of the day, all music is music. It's somebody's art, so you have to respect that. Now, I don't have to respect the message you're pushing or none of that. You know what I mean? Like that's why I draw my line because you know some people get diehard about like what is music and what's not, or what's good hip hop and what isn't, and obviously like it's all opinion based, so it's hard to bring a factual answer to those type of questions. You know?
I mean, those are the questions that will just never die out. But I just love that story about you just spitting pyrotechnic rhymes because it's dope, man. It's kind of like some people approach a cipher in different ways, like they're trying to play the dozens, or they're trying to be like the greatest, the king of the mountain. But some are just literally just trying to approach the art from an artistry perspective. And
Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, it's amazing to kind of see you find your way. Like some of these stories you're telling could warrants its own podcast series on its own because like you talking about your dad and you talking about growing up in different parts of Chicago, like bro, I can feel that. I can feel the pain, but I can feel the craftsmanship in anything that you touch, to be honest.
Appreciate that, man. That's dope. You know, I don't think about this shit half the time. Genuinely, like I'm not thinking about like I do consider it a little bit because I know you know as you grow you start to see different aspects of it and shit. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like I'm in here like yo, I could die tomorrow. I could die today. So let me make 40 more beats and leave you at that batch. And I live like that every day, or at least I try to approach it like that because obviously like we don't know where we're going, but we know we're going. So it's like when I go, I want to make sure that I left as much as I could. On some Jay Dilla shit, like yo, we finding bad like that guy dropped like he dropped so much shit after his death, bro. That was so amazing to me. That it's
Oh
like,
my God.
let me do that while I'm here, but also leave something for y'all because it's like I got computers sitting in my closet that just have like songs on them that no one will ever hear, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Dilla's always an interesting conversation because like when you're talking about you getting exposed to Dr. Dre early on, it's like some folks can approach Dilla's music and think it's just backpack rap, but like Dilla was just like a party dude too. Like he had this like he had so many layers to him, right? So I mean,
I remember when I first heard Dilla rap, bro, it fucked me up. Cause like I like listened to all his beats. Like I listened
yeah.
to like 6 hours worth of Dilla shit, genuinely. And then I like heard his like rough draft shit, and then like I heard like Won't Do. Like I bought these joints on vinyl because it just blew my mind. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like this guy's even a rapper than he is like beat maker, and him on his own production. like you can't fuck with it. But not everybody can feel or like can see the depths and everything, you know.
Yes.
That's the thing about art. Not everybody's gonna look at the same painting and have the same perspective about it. But for someone like Dilla to like everybody can mention him in that same light, it just lets you know how powerful that shit really was.
You read about this interpretation, how everybody looks at it. Like, if you think about there's some people out there that to listen to the Chronic and hear a totally different album compared to how we listen to the Chronic. If you think about, you're right. I mean, that music, when you listen to it, it influences you. It changes your style, your outlook on life, and everything. Like, what other artists, man, you listen to and your dad played for you? What other artists did you hear?
I mean, genuinely, he loved West Coast because he has family in California. My brother and sister were born from Cali. Um, so he spent time over there. And it was just really just West Coast shit, bro. Like Nate Dogg and Warren G. And then like he was also into like rock music. He put me on to like Pink Floyd at a very young age. Like that was one of the only times I can recall my dad sitting down with me and explaining to me the meaning of lyrics. Like he'd play a line in the song, pause it, and be like, you know what that means? And I'll be like, no, I'm like 10. And then he'll play it and explain it, aside that, Pink Floyd's just great music, it's like something that will give you a natural high. And I think that also like developed my love for music even more. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I mean, but you mentioned Pink Floyd, that Dark Side of the Moon album. I know your pops probably said that Dark Side of the Moon album it's crazy when you put that on like a couple of 12s in the car. And I hate to say it, you ride around that Dark Side of the Moon slugs, man. And people look at you like, what is that about? It's Pink Floyd. I got on Pink Floyd because I had a mentor that tried to say all we listen to is hip hop all the time. So he did the same thing. I see it.
There it is. There it is.
This was not the Dark Side of the Moon, but this is a fucking great album too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that one tight. Yeah, I like that song "Brain Damage" off Dark Side of the Moon. That's the track right there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think off Dark Side of the Moon for me would probably be like Any Color You Like or The Gray Gig in the Sky, hands down. Like those two are just like crazy. Like Time on there is insane, but those two songs to me are just like it's like musical orgasms to my ears. I don't know how else to explain it. Like that shit will like take the worst day and make it into the best day.
Yeah, I mean that album, man. They tried it, they remastered. I'm a vinyl head too, man. So you popped out that vinyl. I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of Floyd. I got a lot of I got a lot of the Eagles and stuff like that. Cause even them cats, man, the Eagles, Pet, you get Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. Man, Pet Sounds is ridiculous on the turntable.
Have you ever heard I don't know, I think it was produced by Knobs, but it was a fucking Mac Miller song with Sean Price on it called Pet Sounds, and it was like it's the craziest shit ever.
I know what you're talking about.
But that put me onto a lot of like fucking just like classic rock music too and shit. But he all like it was all over the place. He also loved like techno music and like just like club shit, but good music. And it's crazy. Like there's certain songs from like the 2000s that like just remind me of like cruising around my pops. Like you ever heard of Telepop Music? That song Breathe by their shit. Like that's like I fucking love that song because of my dad. Like he showed me that shit. You know what I mean? Like listening to Sad Storm, all sorts of shit, man. And then my older brother, he was also a very big influence. He honestly molded. He's like the molder behind my shit in a genuine aspect. My brother, I don't really talk about him a lot. He's not dead or nothing. He's still here and he's good. He's healthy. He's great. But my brother, he definitely like if my older brother didn't take care of me, bro, like there would be no Smoke Bonito. Plain and simple.
I feel you.
I mean, I just love that you're talking about it being a connective tissue to your fam, right? Because like for me at times, I love my dad. He kind of taught me almost everything I know. And I think we're at odds sometimes with music. Like I think we can appreciate music on a common playing field, but sometimes it's not necessarily like a bonding thing. But I just love it's like it sounds like it's almost like a rite of passage on your side with
It is
having
and
the
it
culture.
isn't. I think it's just genuinely one of those things like whatever's meant for you will never miss you. Because I tried to join band. Here's another story. When I was a kid, I tried to join band. I wanted to learn how to play the baritone. And I remember I came home with the instrument, showed my dad, and he was like, "Hey," like, and it was fucked up because my dad had money. He was good. Like, he could have bought me a whole orchestra, genuinely. But I won't lie, I was a really bad kid, like bad as fuck. Like they're calling you every day from school because your kid is fucking just you fucking sass about with a pencil, some crazy shit. I don't know. You know, like he was like, nah, like I'm not gonna pay for that instrument. You're just gonna break it. And it makes sense in retrospect, but at the same time, like I don't think you realize, like, yo, your kid's trying to learn how to play an instrument, and you're not gonna let him pursue that. Which in the moment, like I wasn't even like I didn't know hip hop yet, like that. I just knew the songs, so I wasn't even in that world. I was just like, all right, whatever, cool. Time like half a decade goes by, you know, and my older brother who like put me on to like Eminem and like fucking Corn and like System of a Down, like literally anything good ever, genuinely, like anything. He showed me a lot of that, and then I just fell in love with rap, bro, and started looking into other shit. And then I found Wu Tang on like my own, and it's just like it's the rabbit hole of hip hop. Once you hear that one joint, it captures your ear. It's like you're fucking done for it. You're there. Like now you're like listening to fucking I listened to Capital Punishment in its entirety for the first time in like 2019, and it fucking scared me. I was like, yo, people were alive and Pun was rapping like this and they were comfortable with like that kind of song. Like you were like, you heard that shit drop and you were like, all right, let's go to the studio. Like I would have been like, fuck this, I'm not rapping no more.
Man, Pun was on some other shit, man. Pun was like a messenger from the future, to be honest with you. It's delivery, man, the timing. You know, Joe tries, man. I love Fat Joe, but Pun is like that's like putting Pippin as the mic at this point, you know. And you know, Capital Punishment, man. God, that's one of the greats out there, man. That vinyl, I went back recently, bought that on vinyl. I had that on CD back in the case back in the day, and it was nuts because man, I think, yeah, you know, Jay, man, that
Yes,
Capital
sir.
Punishment got a lot of play. That the beat
Yeah,
nuts,
man.
and you put that, you know, with you and everybody, man. It's just that whole time period was nuts. That was coming out of that area in New York.
The craziest
I mean,
that record to me though is like how many songs are on it? And aside that, like me and Rockwell always laugh about this because it'll be like you're like 17 songs in the track or like 18, and then like Wyclef joint comes on, bro, that Caribbean connection, and you're like, yo, what the fuck? Like this is track 19. Like this shit could have been like one of the fucking first ones we heard, but it's like it's got all that and it still gives till today. It's just crazy, man. All that shit is crazy.
I totally
we
agree.
got robbed on that relationship because that you know, getting Pun leaving us so early and so quick, man. People always talk about Big leaving, Pac leaving, Pun leaving was a crazy blow because we were already like, what the fuck is next? You know, in that situation. I mean, the first time I heard super lyrical off that Capital Punishment, man, you know, him and Black Thought, it was just back and forth. And Pun, it's like that was like a heavyweight fight. You think about it, you know. Black Thought was, you know, he's always been decent, always been nice. Still I think one of the best MCs that don't get the respect that's due. But Pun was killing them, man. So you
You
listen
can't
like
fuck
this
with
is
Pun. Pun is Pun, point, period, blank. Like I don't think it was one of those like you could top or outdo him. I think it was just like you are great just like him, so you gotta do what you do. Cause it's like you can't fuck with Pun, bro. You can't.
Mhm.
Like, but again, opinions.
Hey. I mean, when your posthumous track is, you know, after he passed, you know, that track after he passed with Donnell Jones on it, man, it's probably the best sad song ever. To be honest with you, you know, we got his kids in the video and everything like that. I mean, the first time, you know, I heard at the Pun pass and the music that came out after he passed away, it's a decent album. I'll give it to you like this: you compare it to when Pac passed, Pac's post-death albums were kind of like, what the fuck is this? Pon's made you go, okay, dude ain't really dead. When is this album coming? So it left you feeling a certain way. I mean, Pac, you know, people were making albums up, shit was coming out. They said he was predicting the future. So it got kind of irritating after a while. Big, you didn't get much Big after that. When Big was gone, you had one album after that, and you had a couple of B-sides, but that was the end of it at this point. So hip hop, man, if it's meant for you, you find out about it. That's the way I look at it. But I feel like artists you want to see collaborate, like you mentioned a Big Pun and a Kendrick Lamar track today. That's the stuff I fantasize about. What that been like?
That's funny. Me and Rocco were talking about some shit like this the other day. I forgot what I said, bro. But I think it was just in the like general lines of like imagine if Pun dropped, like how like just the sound of everything and how it would be. But those are always what if questions, and I don't like to ponder on shit like that too much. It's like even for Biggie, like as small of a catalog as we got, it's still such a strong one. Like it's all we needed, and I think sometimes that's all you'll ever get from like some of the greatest musicians in life. It's just that little fucking glimpse into that, and then that's it. But it's such a strong glimpse that it'll last for fucking your lifetime and mine and shit to go on.
And then the trash artists stay around forever. It's like the people you want to go won't go away. And so, it's like one of my buddies trying to argue that Lil Nas X was a great lyricist. I'm like, I can't talk to you no more. Lil Nas X is not a lyricist. And so it's a shock artist. That's the way I look at it pretty much.
Yeah, there comes a point in the line where you gotta just admit certain things. And a lot of people don't want to admit to themselves. People don't want to stop and talk to themselves and be like, yo, maybe I'm fucking wrong, Which a lot more often.
You were like, did they plant him in the industry? Where did he come from? It's some bad music out there, to be honest with you. I mean, Smoke, you ain't got that problem. There's some bad stuff out there. You ever listen to something so bad that you feel guilty listening to it? You look around, see anybody heard you listen to that shit?
I'm gonna lie to you, bro. I'm a fan of all music. I fucking listen to shit that is like, this is fucking horrible and it's probably rotting my brain and I shouldn't, but I gotta like take it on because I'm like, to me, I'm sampling everything, son. So it's like everything is up for takes and I gotta like listen to everything because it's like, yo, what if I find something right there? Like, I'm gonna go listen to some country songs. I'm gonna go listen to some fucking shit, ratchet ass shit, just to know where we're at in music. It's like, yo, I don't know. Like, you hear Detroit style beat with fucking people talking about the most absurd shit and you be confused, genuinely. You'd be like, what the fuck? But then you see how serious these people are about it, and it's like it just gives you a different perspective. It's still like how powerful music really is, It's just like, oh, cool, we let the wrong people get their hands on it, but it's for everybody though. So this is just that flavor, and it's not your flavor.
I love that. I love that because like that's kind of like an insider perspective on that project that you and Surfboard C are working on, right? That's kind of like literally verbatim what he kind of told me as far as like he'll kick you something and somehow you'll turn a beat out of it and you'll make magic into it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I don't know, man. It's all music. It's definitely like I definitely do get into heated discussions about like the politics of it, but that takes the fun out of it for me. Like that shit, it kills my vibe, and I don't mind talking about it at all. I'm just saying, like on a genuine level, it's just like, whatever. Like that's what you do, great. Contribute what you can.
But yeah, you're right. So sometimes you do find inspiration in the weirdest fucking places. Like I remember like the crazy, like my guilty pleasure sometimes is like back in the day, like when videos are around, I watch bad videos. I still watch them on YouTube today. So I go on YouTube and find shit that's disturbing to watch, that's hip hop related. And you find the strange, like Danny Brown. You talking about Detroit hip hop, right? Adderall. You ever listen to Danny Brown? That is some crazy shit. But the thing about it is it's Detroit, but Detroit's got its own vibe, its own delivery, just like Chicago. Chicago's got a lot of strange artists in different boroughs, around the city.
Yeah.
But it's people in Chicago got followings. You be like, who's following this dude? You find out like, yeah,
that's facts. I do meet some cats around the city, and like I follow them, and it should be like 20,000 followers. I'm like, yo, who the fuck? Hey, bro. Nowadays, there's a niche for everything, and if you could find it and find your people that like you, like that's why you can be an independent artist right now because there's so much opportunity out there. I feel like as weird as you can be, bro, because it's like people make mean rap. Like I hear people just say the stupid like on genuine purpose. And sometimes it's also like I blame producers because we make some crazy ass beats that it's like, yo, if the beat wasn't there, I would never listen to it. But you made such a crazy beat and put this stupid ass lyrics over it that this shit is an earworm.
100%.
It's like eating a burger from McDonald's. You're like, it's so bad, but it's good. You're like, what the fuck?
Nah, it'd be like that, man. You got rappers out of Cicero, North Riverside, that area. You got rappers out of Hansdale. Now I'm like, what the fuck is really going on? But that's the influence, to be honest with you. You got people rapping about going to the mall. They're living at North Riverside, that Cicero Berwyn area. And you like, and over there basically where there's everybody's super hip hop. So it's like hip hop went to the edge of Chicago, and then went into the burbs, and then it came back harder, different. I'm on the west side, and then on the west side, it's like,
yo, West Side cats are ill though. Every time I meet somebody from out west, I instantly off rip could tell you're off from out west just from the swag, the lingo, the whole way you maneuver, and it's dope to me because I'm like, yo, like if I grew up out west, I probably wouldn't be. I'm crazy. Like in a good manner though. Like it's just one of those things because it's like I fuck with the people from the west side, bro. The west side be cracking. It's crazy as fuck out there.
the difference between west side and south side is west side, they're gonna shoot your ass. The south side gonna make an announcement, we're gonna shoot his ass next Tuesday. So that's the big difference between the west side and the south. The west side is unexpected. They just pulled up and started shooting. Like when I went to high school on the south side and I grew up on the west side, I would watch shit develop, and I'm like, it moves different. You know what I mean? Because outside they schedule the ass whooping, so it's a bit different.
That's very true. It would definitely be like, all right, you get your homies after school. I get mine. No, like we're gonna meet each other over there. It's very much one of those things. And there's definitely neighborhoods where it's like, yo, they don't say shit over there. They just start shooting.
They start shooting. You know, outside. Let me schedule it. I got a dentist appointment tomorrow, but we whoop your ass on Friday. So
but people stand on business and they're there on Friday.
that is true, man. I learned that quick on the west side. Like, what they do to you is, the gang culture, man, is so different out west. Because a guy will walk up and say some shit to you, he'll false flag and throw some shit at you, and he's something totally fucking different. That's somebody getting their ass whooped. That's the first time I saw that as a kid.
On a genuine level, though. Yeah. You could tell when people do shit like that. Like if you really are immersed in the gang culture, like there's very specific mannerisms that could give it away off rip. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, too, like people could just, it's like undercover cop shit, but just on a gangbanger level, which is hilarious.
But most of a lot of CPD gangbang though. that's the problem.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've seen it, bro. I've been dropped off in the wrong neighborhood by the police. And fun getting home. I'm like, you fucker.
Oh, I had that pickup one time. I got picked up. I grew up in the Cicero. I grew up in Cicero right off 290, and so I got picked up. I got picked up on the Chicago side. They dropped me off on the Cicero side of the bridge. I'm like, what the fuck? He was like, and they pulled up, turned the lights on, and the next day, my grandma was like, they think you told on somebody. I said, what the fuck? Because they dropped me off, turned the lights off, and everybody's like, that's the motherfucker that did it. So I'm looking like, no, man. So I had to explain to everybody, nah, I didn't do that shit. So nobody spoke to me for fucking 2 weeks. I go to and from school, and I was like, damn, I gotta watch my ass. I think I'm on that list around here right now. Because that's what they do. I mean, the west side moved different. But I looked on the north side, it was like, you talking like Polish gangs, you talking Czech gangs.
Oh yeah, bro. The north side, bro.
African gangs.
Literally, no, they'll pull up on you, bro. I ran into some of the European people out there, and had a crack. I was like, wow, like you motherfuckers are really out here on some crazy shit, just like us. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. But
you seen the Imperial gangsters? They wear the pink IG. Dude, the first time I get a bunch of dudes pull up on me, this is like about 8 years ago, man, with pink t-shirts on and shit. I'm looking at what the fuck is going on? So I got out the car like IG motherfucker. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? My guy with me, he goes, I'm from, I ain't from around here, but I call and get some people up here. Call that motherfucker. So we all standing there looking like, they're talking, it's the North Pole, bitch. And I'm looking like the North Pole? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, we were up on Rogers Park over there a little bit, like right before you cross off of Howard Street. Because Howard's a motherfucker. You on this side of Howard, it's okay. If you cross Dodge and shit like that going to Evanston, it's a whole different world, man.
And I remember I was in Melrose Park one time. I had a job out
there. First Avenue.
I don't even know, honestly. I don't remember. It was just like off the expressway. It was like a little bodega and shit. I was like, I was doing like people's fucking fridges and shit. We were installing all that crazy. I've worked all sorts of jobs. And this guy who was working with us, he just came up and started talking to me, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm a Latin Eagle," and like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I've never heard of them. So I fucking laughed.
I know what that is, though.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I laughed and shit, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh shit, he's serious." Like, I thought he was fucking with me.
Damn.
And he just looked at me, and like, he was just on some paranoid shit though, because people were looking for him. But it was just one of those things where it was like, "Yo, that's crazy." Like, I never heard of a Latin Eagle, and then I looked into it, and I'm like, these motherfuckers got like one hood, and it's crazy. It's just crazy, like gang history, all sorts of shit. Like being over on this side of the city or that side, it's just crazy. You run into people, bro.
That's like Little Village, which is like down the street from me. You get into the 2-6s and everything like that, and they all, dude. You know, they all into hip hop. Everybody, because
shout out my homies from Little Village. I got some friends.
Yeah, I live right by Little Village High School. So like, you know, you get into you get to hip hop, you get into shoe culture, you get into everybody got a nice car over there, but nobody worked. The shit crazy. So you pull up on like 26th Street, No Stage, and it's like you're like, I just saw somebody got a low ride over here because they got low rider events over there. So they get their cars together and they jump them up and down 26th Street. When you over there by like when you go to El Milagro, you go get tacos and shit. And so, and if, you know, you know by El Milagro, you go to El Milagro.
The Tortolino taqueria over there.
That's the shit.
You will risk getting jumped for a torta. That's it. I leave a statement at that. And shout out to Little Village, man. Over there.
I do that shit every 2 weeks. I risk my life to get a fucking torta. I know what you're talking about, man. And they be looking at you like, "What's up, homie?" I'm like, man, I just want to get 2 tacos.
I ain't gonna lie to you. At one point in my life, I was more scared to walk through Mexican neighborhoods than I was to walk through Black people neighborhoods because they would just want to sell me drugs. When I walk through Mexican neighborhoods, I can have a kid with me and they're gonna walk up on me and be like, "What's up, bro? You gangbang?" And it's like wow, like it's just that serious and it's that intense. And I don't know, man, it's crazy. This shit crazy.
That shit still ain't changed, man. Yo, if you play the wrong song on 26, it's a fucking problem.
All sorts of things on 26. It's all very serious. It's still very active and it's still very real. It's not changed. Gentrification ain't hit it that hard. You know,
hell no.
It's still very active and it's a place you need to be alert.
I was playing Chief Keef Sosa over there one time. I got a Starbucks coffee cup tossed in my car.
Get out.
What? Yeah, I was like, man, I heard that when you know the Sosa track, when that bass line dropped, they knew exactly what the fuck it was. So I was looking up because like, you know, I was fucking, that's when I had my 412s. I had my tweeters in the door. I was living my different life at that time, man. And I had Sosa. I dropped that Sosa bass. I love Sosa. I heard somebody say, "Fuck that." And I was in the car, just like I was like, let me turn this shit down. And then that's the guy I know. I saw like, bro. Yeah, it was like, we don't fuck with him over here, and we don't fuck with you. Turn that shit down. And I was just like, Sosa got to go off, man, because they were, you got.
Do you like Common Sense?
I do.
Listen to Common. I fucking love Common, man. I feel like he's such a big inspiration to me, bro. I want to meet that guy and work with him genuinely.
It's a bit, the fucked up thing about the Common thing is, from the South Side, like when we were like with me and those stage with Shorties, Common was like doing that. Common was about that life back in the day. Yeah. So Common, basically was throwing up shit. A lot of guys I know Common, and he's changed, like he's different now. He was Common Sense. It was different. When he became Common, everybody was like, he ain't Common ain't on that. But what Common's were 87. So you sit out there like he used to stand outside like little stores and shit over there when we were in high school. You could drive like on the east side and see Common outside chilling. It's like Twister. I see Twister every other fucking day out west, just chilling. And now he's doing gun control and he's doing gun training. He got gun boot camp now. So it is funny to see how rappers evolve that you grew up with, the people you see around. Like,
I mean, I
Like,
think it's better though if you really want to look at it in an aspect of like most rappers grow up and die. They don't even get to grow up.
Yeah.
Grow up and he got to do something better and change. You know, like I said, do what you can, and he's doing just that. He might not have been like on some Kanye shit, but it's like, yo, you know, it's just one of those things. Bro, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I know Twister is Carl. So when some people go, that's Carl. People are like,
Yeah.
shut up, man. Yeah, it's a small world, man. It's a small world. But you're right. You know, we never imagined our rappers getting old. So it's crazy when you see Snoop with the head of gray hair and stuff like that, because you know the Snoop we knew was riding with a hockey jersey on the handlebars of a bike, and now he's involved in the Grandpa Snoop. And I was like, what? And hanging out with Martha Stewart. So the shit still fucks me up today. So I'm like, Snoop is hanging out with Martha Stewart. What the fuck is going on
Did
right
you ever
now?
listen to that shit he dropped? The new, like one of his newer albums?
On the new
Because I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Snoop didn't drop good music for me like for a really long time. Like it was like his classic shit, and then he did some like weird shit.
No limit.
Just like what the
No
fuck
limit.
was that? And then he like got really commercial on him, which you know I respect it, bro. Like, hey man, get your money, build that fucking like legend. Like Snoop Dogg's a legend, and I ain't trying to bash on him, but it's like you know he did what he did, bro. But his newer album, bro, I heard some shit on there where I was like, oh, he still got it. Like he never lose it, because I heard a lot of songs and it was just like he's gonna hit. This is not the Snoop I like, and I was really sad. But then I heard that shit and I was like, oh, he was just like holding out. He was doing his business shit, and then like I heard him rap, and I was like, that shit right there.
So if you want to check something out, check out that blue carpet treatment. That is the shit. The blue carpet treatment, the Snoop album. It's like you could tell like he went no limit for a while. When he went southern, and then he came back out the swamp, and then he started getting better production again. And you had that whole Neptune situation because Pharrell kind of picked Snoop back up because Snoop basically when he was messing with Master P, and Master P, they always had their own style, man. You talking about the Ice Cream Man and shit. So that shit was like it's like West Coast in the swamp. That's what the Ice Cream Man was like to me, basically. That song was wild, man. But that blue carpet treatment, he got that Candy on there, got Vato on there. He got
Hey, that Vato joint would be real
Yeah.
goes so hard. That's an instant classic.
man.
Man.
But man, Be Real doing the ad lib on that track, that is sick, man. Yeah, Vato's a
I love
classic, man.
Cypress Hill. I love Cypress Hill. I got a Cypress Hill tattoo, man.
That's dope. They're actually touring this year with Farsight and Souls of Mischief.
Wow,
I know.
man.
That's
I haven't
that's
been.
crazy.
I haven't caught like. I didn't even get to see the guys at Biggie or the guys at What do you do? Wu Tang, Nas and Wu Tang.
Oh yeah.
None of that. I
The
haven't.
New York State of Mind tour. Right,
Yeah,
right.
I was salty. I didn't see it, dude. Because to me, Nas, I fucking love Nas. Like I know that Illmatic like the back of my hand.
Hey, I mean, when you're talking about artists that still got it, obviously Snoop still got it. Like when he was dropping that track with Eminem, like he was going toe to toe with him. But Nas on the Hit Boy like joints, you know what I mean? Like what was it like?
That
6
joint he
albums?
did ugly. Oh my god, bro.
But you gotta ask yourself, a Hit Boy, how many more collaborations? Just the last collaboration, right? We ain't doing no more Hit Boy with Nas. Is he done with that?
Probably not, right? Was it 3 Magics?
My thing is this. Like, why the fuck hasn't Nas done an album with Alchemist and dropped it? Because that right there fucked the whole game up again. Period. Like why hasn't I question shit like that, but at the same time I'm sure there's bigger politics to it that like I don't understand or I'm not aware of that.
Right.
Give me the answer to that, but it's one of those things like because the Alchemist been fucking people up all year. Like why hasn't nobody got a Ninth Wonder Alchemist album done?
It's like Alchemist is so selective about who he work with.
For
There's
sure,
so many
bro.
people you want to pair him with, like man, you look back, this dude does a track with Maxwell, right? Maxwell's a damn singer. And you hear it, they do a twist on that track, that Smile track. It was the production he does is so ridiculous, to be honest with you. If you put Alchemist and Nas together, or you even do Alchemist and Raekwon, if you put the Alchemist and Raekwon on a track together, lyrically, the crazy
why
thing.
don't the super heads of hip hop still congregate like they used to? Why haven't they dropped like another album? It's like they have and shit, but like, bro, Busta Rhymes sitting on all this music. I know he got some shit to fuck us up, bro. And it's like, why you ain't drop it? But I think it's in the current state of music, in my opinion. I feel like we're waiting for the next wave. We're all stagnant right now because it's like everything that's happened has been here, and nobody like like.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think we're waiting on
there's
the
something to
wave.
that because like a lot of artists are sort of like doing the tour where they'll perform the album in its entirety, whatever their nostalgic album is. So it's kind of it's like it's definitely going back to the well in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you think about like Busta dropped, Busta dropped a few albums recently that were decent, real nice. And then he
The whole
performed.
extinction joints or what?
Uh-huh.
Them joints
Right.
was fucking hard.
Um,
He had this like Pete Rock Dilla beat on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It fucked me up, bro. It fucked me up so hard. Like I went back and listened to that shit like 100 times, bro. And even just the other songs he had on there were like, yeah, no, it was an immaculate album for sure. Like, but we need more of that. You know what I mean? I just think the state of music right now, bro, is just like super commercial, and it's very like everybody wants the new trend, new, like But I feel like if you've been alive long enough, you can see that things just go in big ass circles. So it's like hip hop is popping right now, and I don't think it's gonna stop popping. I don't because it's like in the foreseeable future, I don't see nobody coming up with a new genre of music that's gonna be like, oh, this is what we're all doing now.
I mean, we're in emo hip hop right now, to be honest with you. This is emo hip hop. You think about it, Travis Scott, Kanye a little bit in that darkness right now. Me and No Stage talking about vultures. That is the darkest fucking video. I finally watched that video the other night. I fucking had a nightmare that a fucking crow was chasing me,
Hey, but
man.
let me ask you something though. When you started watching that video, you didn't stop and be like, okay, cool, I don't need to finish it. You watched the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like you said,
Mhm.
you were like, let me watch the whole thing. And it's one of those things like, because I watched it too, but it was like, damn, bro, that shit really just captivated me. I watched the whole fucking video, and I'm like, and I even like, and I seen it. I'm like, yo, like I already see they hide shit in front of your face. People are fucking stupid. So all that symbolism that they be doing and all that shit, like most people don't view it. They're just like, oh, that's a cool effect. Like that's what it is to people. And it's like, yo, it's more crazier than that. But I don't know,
Nah,
man.
it's a lot of symbols. Like even with 21 Savage, I saw the SNL performance. I said, what the fuck? Because Savage has like no, I love 21 Savage music, but he has no fucking stage presence. He has no personality. He stood there like, kill a motherfucker, spin the block, kill everybody, fuck them off.
That's how his songs sound though.
That is
That's
true.
it.
So he's giving you the genuine thing.
That's right.
It's just his raps over the beats. It's really the beats, like I'm saying. It's like we carry that shit, bro. The producers are carrying it. Cause like I'll tell you this right now, like I love Savage, bro. I fuck with his shit hard.
Mhm.
So yo, man, I want to hear some more about behind the curtain about what you're doing, bro. Because you did invoke
Yeah.
I Will Rock Well. You obviously got stuff cooking, and you obviously are not going to stop. We've had Ari the Indigo on the show. We've had Surfboard C.
Shout out Ari, shout out Surf.
Man, bro. I mean, it's like
Has
I
Gabe
can't.
been on here? I was been on here, right?
Yeah, I always been on the show as well,
Yeah.
man.
Shout out
So I mean, how did you meet all them cats, bro?
So I bet I was through my homie Edward, who old friend of mine. We're not friends no more, but like we're not beefing. It's just like, whatever, some shit happened. We're not cool. But I met Iowa through him,
Dope.
and me and Gabe became like brothers, bro. Like I was at Gabe's house, like chilling with him and shit. So it was
Yes,
just one of
sir.
those like I ended up like taking over the studio at 840, and that's where we did all the B-side shit, most of it.
Man.
A lot of great sessions in there. That's just a legendary building. That's a JB Ross Royalty Retrieval Services. I don't know if you know who JB Ross is, but he was like one of the biggest attorneys for music retrieval shit. Like he worked with James Brown. Like this motherfucker had everybody's signature, bro. Like I seen a fucking Einstein signature in person. Like
What?
seen like he has gems, bro. That guy like he was really a special person. You should look into him. JB Ross, man. He's very big in the house scene in Chicago, like legend shit, genuine
Right.
legend shit. But anyways, that's where the building is. I'm upstairs of that.
Oh shit. That's amazing.
So it's just crazy magic there. My friend Oliver, it was my friend Oliver who introduced me to Edwin, and then Edwin introduced me to Iowa. So it's all very interlinked and shit, and I'm grateful for it. And then through Iowa, I met Video Dave.
Yes, sir.
And then with Video Dave, I met Open Mike Eagle. And then obviously I met Craig because they're fucking brothers.
Yep.
Ari, I also met through Edwin. And then she met Iowa. I don't know if it was like via Open Mike or the same connection. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, and the rest was just kind of history. It was like we met. And it was like I felt like it was like the first time I linked with somebody who genuinely understood my production. And that because like even till today, I will take beats that people will pass on and then hear him rap on it and be like, where the fuck was that beat? And I've literally this, I'm like, go look in your email right now. And they'll pull the fucking beat up, and I'm like, motherfuckers just get quiet. Like,
yo,
like Gabe don't like Gabe, he'll hear something, bro, and he's just like, bet, send me that. Like, and I know, and like sometimes I'll send him beats and he'll just send me songs back. He won't text me nothing, he'll just send me a song back. Like, that's the fucking flow we got going on. And it's just like a brother energy. He's a big brother to me, bro. And I'm grateful for him, bro. And then obviously Surf came into the picture through that.
Right.
And then, but I wanted to work with Surf since I first heard him, bro. Like, I heard his shit and I was like, wow, like that shit's dope. Like, I want him to rap my beats. And then the first thing we did was actually a song for my album. That was the first shit me and him did. And that shit is crazy. Like, it's super crazy. But I'm working with everybody. Like, me and Dave got music coming. Me and Iowa, me and Crave, me and Ari.
Yes.
Everybody, like I just mentioned.
Yep.
And then like other people, like I'm working with people who are like out in the DMV, like my friend 90 Wise or Leakweed Music. I got homies out on the West Coast. Like I got shit everywhere. Like I got a few friends who just have like a few projects by me. Just like I'm just waiting for people to drop. But I think right now, above everything, I'm working on my own shit.
Oh shit!
I just shot.
Because like a lot of your stuff is definitely collab related or just beat related, and like the joint that dropped this month, I didn't even realize it came out this month. That's a solid project, as well as the one you had last month as well in January. That was pretty dope too.
And we're dropping next month too.
Man, bro. So you saying like you don't have a legit album that's just yours? Like that's like on the way?
Yeah.
All right.
So I got one that I produced myself.
Right.
I have like a track from Iowa and some other producers, but it's like me rapping. And I think what will drop first is the shit I did with my boy Nightwalker. I don't know if you've ever heard of Nightwalker, American Asshole. He's cool. He's from New York. He's this guy. Look, I rep it.
Smokes all across the map over here, baby. Oh man, I see it.
Right as fuck, but the homies, bro. I'm working with all the homies, bro. Like, just trying to do as much as I can, bro. I'm trying to like be the guy where it's like, Smoke Bonito, oh, I got a song with that guy. Like everybody, you know what I mean? I want people to meet each other and they're like, oh, you know, I don't smoke, like, but only dope motherfuckers too. Like, I'm not just trying to like, I feel like everybody who reaches out and does buy beats, because I do work with strangers, like motherfuckers just hit me up and be like, yo, let me buy a beat off you. Like, and they're all genuine musicians, you know, like I think like, I don't know, it's hard for me to have conversations about like all that old shit because like I wasn't alive for it. Like I didn't experience it how you guys did. Like it's like me listening to Kendrick album, like yo, that shit dropped in my lifetime. So I was there for what it did. Right. So I really genuinely, like to a degree, understand the bigger picture of the hip hop. You know, I'm like, I'm here, bro. I'm like, I came in and like I was born in '97. You know what I mean? Like fucking crazy shit. So. But I think I caught the tail end of like the golden era to a degree. Mm-hmm. So it's just like right now I'm more focused on like the people I can actually contact and who I can reach out to and who's genuinely gonna like work with me. Like I'm trying to work with people just everywhere. Like, yo, here, let's work on some shit. You know, people buy beats, whatever. Like I reach out to some people reach out to me. But I just want good music from everyone, you know, and I think I'm doing a great job at doing that.
Hey, I respect. I salute you, man. I mean, like, just to hear you kind of have your toe in like the past and paying respect to the elder gods, but still like keeping it new, keeping it fresh. Like
sure.
just the idea of you saying like somebody else passed up on a hip hop beat that Iowa Rockwell like killed or slayed, like that's just like a total hip hop story to me. You were talking about Capital Punishment. It took me to this totally random memory I had. So I made this mixtape for somebody a while back, right? And it was on some total like hip hop kid love story type shit, right? I didn't put any R&B jams on it. It was just like all like dope, like I love you type tracks on side A. And like Mary J and Meth or whatever, right? But on side B, Punish Me was one of the joints on there.
Yeah,
And
that's
bro, like after she heard the tape, she literally thought I wanted to break up with her. But I was like literally like, yo, this is like hip hop. Like I'm showing you my soul right now. Like there's a grimy ass side on side B, and there's the I love you side on side A. Just go back to side A and we still doing it. Like stop playing.
You got a dress shirt on the Timbs, huh?
that joint right there is like, if you know, you know, and even then, like you can still play it around new, like a younger generation, and they'll still vibe with it if they like good music, because it's just one of those songs like the hood got you, playing rapping on some Smooth Criminal shit, like you can't. But yeah, man, that's crazy. That's funny as fuck.
So yeah, man, it's been a blessing, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm grateful that someone's aware of it. You know, it just reminds me because, like I said, I try not to think too much about it, but it reminds me that people are paying attention to, you know, even if it is, it's like feel like cool. At least someone sees what's happening, you know, to a degree, or is like appreciative of it. Not even just seeing it, like they appreciate it. That to me is like the most important thing. But
What it is, man, but you know, music, you got to keep evolving, man. So like, you know, the first time, you know, I heard one of your tracks, because you're like Kevin Bacon on the Apple right now. You're on everybody's track, or you produce somebody's track. So like, if you type your name in, all this stuff just pops up. So I'm sitting there like one day, like volume 3. Okay, you got more music. This is like, in those days, first introduced me to them, you got to check out Smoke. So that's how it happened. Somebody said, check this guy out, and then Surfboard, Dave and everybody, and then you're on some Dave tracks. And I'm like, okay, let me see what else he did out here. So you start putting it together, you start finding more music. So it's almost like, it's like watching TV. It's like binge watching TV shows. You think about it when you get into music like that. So yeah, everything nice, man. Your style is evolving. So production is like, a lot of people produce and then they can't get on the track and flow. But yeah, you're doing your thing. Doing your thing, man. We appreciate you big time.
yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate you guys, and I'm grateful to be on here and be able to talk about these things, and give somebody the ability to put the face to the music they're hearing or something.
I feel you. I feel you. I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah, keep putting good music out there, man. Keep evolving. Keep listening to stuff, man. Like you said, I was in there during the golden age. I mean, you were in conception mode around the time. Biggie and Pac, man, you were hearing Spirit at that point, man. Real talk. Yeah, you were somewhere, man. Your dad was carrying you. That's the best way to put it. So that era was dark. With the death and everything like that. That was the most probably murderous era. Not it ain't crazy like the Memphis shit today. Like Memphis is like on fire right now. You think about the Dolph and the rest of that stuff that's going on out there. But it's going there. It's going there right now. They'll probably get Gotti at some point because they're shooting. They shot his brother. It's getting nuts, man.
It's been fucked up, and I don't think there was a time where it stopped. There was just little instances for new beef to arise and all that shit to happen. But
you know how it is, man. Man being man, you disrespect me. It's a code of silence. It's a code of honor out there, man. It ain't changed. I still a lot of ass whoopings. And you be like, okay, what do you do? I don't like him, and that's how shit works sometimes. People ain't gotta like each other, but it does rob us of good music a lot of times. You think like, what if Dolph doesn't go down? What if you got Thugger in prison? You got all types of crazy shit going on in hip hop right now. Yeah. So it's gotta get normal at some point again. Well, what we think is normal. or close enough, or we get that next artist, because that person ain't out. I ain't seen the next big thing yet. Next wave ain't here yet. Right now, we're levitating right now.
Nah, it's cooking up. Something's gonna come out of this. Like it's just a matter of time, I think, you know. And it's probably already here and it's brewing and we're unaware of it. It's always like that, you know, because we're at a point where it's like cool, like everybody's doing the same shit. So I know it's coming though, you know, it all goes full circle and we'll see where it goes. But
Well, think about it. We had Juice World like he was about to take off, right? And then Juice checked out. Pop Smoke came in and brought that 50 Cent.
man,
That energy, man. Oh my God, man. With Smoke, his voice when he breathed into the mic. The first time I heard it, I was like, "What is this?" Because I'm like, you hear that New York in his voice.
yeah, you can't deny certain things, bro. Certain music you can't deny. That's the thing about it. Like,
yeah, Pop is on a different level.
For sure, man.
And we lost Pop, and then don't even get into like the other situation. You get to Nipsey and everything like that. Nipsey was just, to me, Nip was just starting to cook.
You gonna make me cry in this motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
I love Nipsey Hussle, and that shit is, rest in peace to him, bro. That shit was fucking. That's just fucked up, bro. But you ever heard that shit Kendrick did, the Heart Part 5?
Yeah.
Boy, that shit right there. I think he did that shit so much. That shit was so beautiful to hear that, like genuinely. Like I hear shit like that and I shed a tear type shit because it's so powerful to me because it's so real. If you really understand how it's just shit like that, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, we started rapping like everybody, and he started transforming. Man, you like, man. But you know what? Kendrick always had it in him. So Kendrick's like the bridge to like things you won't hear again, or them styles or whatever, basically. So even like Kendrick always been special. You look at Kendrick. Game on the right day is a real nice MC. That when Game's hungry or somebody piss Game off, that's when he's at the best of his abilities. You don't want happy Game. You want pissed off Game. You don't want him. You don't want him standing on Ferraris, man.
But even then, I think it's just musicians as a growth. I think I don't try to like. I feel like I only listen to musicians who like evolve very hard over the years. I don't know if you ever listened to Mac Miller.
I did.
I listened to Mac Miller for a long time. I like heard him go from like that weird corny college rap shit to like some super dope ill rap shit to like some genuine artist, and to me that was just the most beautiful thing, and I think that's what I aspire to do to a sense.
Well, with him it's like it started off like it's like Jack Harlow, right? So you think about Jack Harlow, right? You think like when he first dropped, we thought it was a joke, right? We thought it was a skit. And then you're like, this dude really good flow, man. So you listen to Jack a little bit, and you go, okay, this is different. And then you start, you listen to artists, you don't realize it's that artist because he keep evolving. You're like, who is that on the track? That's Jack Harlow on the track, basically.
Yeah.
Trying to beat the beat up a little bit because a lot of artists, you think about like, I get a good example, Cameron. Think about Dipset, right? Those dudes would be they can rap off beat and then catch up and then rap off beat again, which is crazy. You listen to like you ever listen to Dipset Anthem, with Jules and everybody on there, and you listen to it, you just like, or you say, what the fuck are they talking about? Because Dipset was in their own world, they got their own vocabulary. That's when
it's like listening to Bone Thugs, man. Most people like the first time I heard Bone Thugs in Harmony, because I was just like, what? Like that shit fucked me up, but it was in a good manner. I was just like, how the fuck can you even rap like that? Like, what is that cadence? Crazy ass, just like it fucked me up, man. They're some of the illest too.
Well, you think about them in 3 6 Mafia, and you get into everybody rapping fast like that, and they got harmony. So like Bone Thugs, when they first dropped, man, I was in high school, man. I was in a high school when they dropped, and the shit crazy. You think about like how much I had seen in hip hop, how much No Say saw in hip hop, and we were just like, are these rappers or they singers? But the thing about it was they were thugs in harmony, so the shit fucked us up, the whole concept. And I saw him live a couple of times in concert, and I was just like, you got the Ouija board, You got First of the Month. Before that, you had the Thuggish Ruggish Bone, which
yeah. How did you feel the first time you heard that? How did you feel when like what was your reaction if you could remember the first time you heard Thuggish Ruggish Bone? Because I remember when I first heard that shit as a little kid, I was just I fucking freaked out.
It's like they spazzed out. So the first time you hear them, you just like, and they were, when Busy came on, and then you had Lazy and Busy came on, and they were just killing the beat. And you watch it, and this Cleveland now. So already being a Bulls fan and being a Chicagoan, you're like fuck Cleveland. So, but you heard when you see Bone, you're like, damn, this dude's nice as hell because I grew up like Chicago. You talking psychodrama, you talking Crucial Conflict. That's the West. There was you talking Do or Die and stuff like that. Then you got these guys. So all these guys during that time period, they were like their musicality was different than what you see today. Like today, like you look at an artist where, you get into like the chicks now. The chicks today they make a song about fucking dudes and taking an ass. My asshole brown, bullshit like that is going on right now. So it's different. But during that other time period when we grew up, it was Luther Campbell. It was Two Live Crew. It was Luke. It was Dookie Brown. That shit was crazy, man. So the shock rap that the chicks are doing today, Too Short. Too Short to us was like the nastiest thing out there when we were shorties, man. Because Too Short, you get into Oakland hip hop, which is totally different. And you know how that go, and you look at it and you go, what the hell in that situation? So Too Short was like the album, Too Short, the artist, I couldn't play in my house as a shorty because your mom and somebody here would be like, you can't play that shit in here. So it was NWA, it was Too Short, it was DJ Quake. So them guys were pioneers. So like where we at today with hip hop is that, everything is more transparent, to be honest with you. Like I like the fact that hip hop's got more lanes than it did during the 80s and 90s. The 2000s, it was like big ass clothes and jerseys and shit, right? And
3XL shits. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I still fuck with that look. That was it was just an era. I don't think it was like the best or one of those like remarkable, but when I look back at it, it's just funny to me. Like motherfuckers is really out here wearing like 5XL shorts.
No, every no belt, just walking around trying to use your legs to keep your clothes up. Yeah, but you know what? Then the tight shit came. Now it's crazy because now you're in the middle of it. Now it's like we still rocking white tees. We still rocking cargo khakis. You got bandana shorts and shit on. I think this is probably the best dress period ever. To be honest with you, that other shit. It was either all the way over here or all the way over here. Now it's just like in the middle.
That's I think it's the same with the music though, because it's like you could be on that side or you could be on this side or you could be on whatever, you can do whatever you want nowadays, and I think that's the most important thing.
Well, look at Tyler the Creator, right? You got Tyler the Creator sitting. He's out, he out that Bay Area. He's over there in Cali. Then you go up a little bit, and you still got Dre out there making music. You got, California is the thing about California is that you got Anderson .Paak, you got all these artists up and down that coast, and everybody's musically talented, right? And then you get to Chicago, you get to these other places. Chicago, you go, you're looking at Dirk, you're looking at Bumpy, you're looking at Kanye, whatever you want to be called that day. So you got Kanye, you throw in all these different artists, right? But we still don't move like the West move. We still don't move like the East Coast moves. The East Coast is a different animal.
I believe it. New York is crazy, bro. Motherfuckers in New York and the East Coast. But I love the East Coast. I get a lot of love out there. I get a lot of love out there. I've contemplated moving out east.
When you go out, so the thing is about Brooklyn and everything is they like light years ahead sometimes. They making up words and shit that finally make it to the Midwest. Or you think like, I give you a funny one, like the word parlay. So they use that shit out in Cali, and then Chicago people start talking, I'm about to go parlay, I'm about to go chill or something. You're like, what the fuck you been? You go hang out at the West Coast, you come back with a whole different vocabulary, you dressing different. Like you gotta think, New York was rocking North Faces and shit for like 20, 30 years ago. And then the shit became a Chicago thing. And then, Chicago changed its fashion because, we color coordinate the shit in Chicago. Other places, other places they can wear weird fucking colors. You'd be like, that's how you know somebody from Chicago. You can look at the shoes. You know, you can look at, you know, when you go out east, they wear Air Maxes and shit, and New Balances and Saucony and Theodoras. You know, the cool kids here wear that shit. Everybody else basically, you know, they're Jordan, they're Air Force Ones. That's just still, it's still what they do in Chicago. So, you know, it's different. Or Pelly Pals. You used to see that shit everywhere. You know,
Yeah, that's fact. Yeah, that's fact. So
yeah, they still doing it, but it ain't like it used to be. But you know, I think it's gonna be interesting to see where fashion go, because you know, fashion is clothing, it's tats, it's chains. You know, we just arguing the other day about Cuban links. So you know what a Cuban link used to cost, man? A Cuban link, I used to get a Cuban. I'm talking like we're talking about getting like you know, grams of gold. Gold was cheap as fuck back in the day.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. I've seen them pictures of motherfuckers with them crazy joints. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, motherfucker got 1.5 kilos on his neck.
Right. I had a nice Cuban. I got rid of my Cuban because, you know, went through a phase. Everybody got off the Cubans and started going shoestrings and shit like that. So chains and changed, like, you know, necklace, watches and shit involved. You know, it was like, hell, you buy a Rolex like $2,000, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. That shit now is like 1820, a good one, you know. And it's like, it's crazy. Like, you know, if you keep it long enough, it come back in fashion. That's the fucked up thing with jewelry and everything. If you get rid of it,
everything's like that. It all comes back. Like, that's what I'm
360.
saying. With shit, bro. Like, yeah, we're on some sad emo shit, you know, but it's all like it'll all go back in circle, bro. You know, so as long as you do what you do and you're good at it, I feel like.
No, you're right. You're right, because like, you know, it was platinum for a minute, then it went gold. It was, you know, everybody had silver shit everywhere. Basically, everybody's like vampires walking around with silver everywhere. So it, it keeps evolving. I think like right now, like you even see the retro world man right now, where everybody's retro and everything. Like, you know, shit we play with like Transformers and shit have come back full circle. He-Man is back.
Yeah, no,
Joe's cool.
$700 for a fucking He-Man toy the other day. I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, I got buddies buying that shit at like $700, man. Buying Optimus Prime, like, you know, like one of my guys, like, I have no money to shorty. I'm getting all the fucking Transformers. So you go over his house, his wife is like, you gotta stop. You need help, man. I see your Transformers. I need you to go talk to somebody.
This is how
like,
I am.
You know,
this is how I am with records, man. I be buying records, and my girl's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I do a lot of vinyl. I do Sugar Records on Milwaukee in the city. I do
Nice.
Reckless. I do. I might go up to Milwaukee and buy vinyl. There's a lot of vinyl shops up in Milwaukee.
You ever been to 606 Records?
I've been there.
I fucking love it there. Shout out Drew, my boy.
Good people. Yeah, 606 is really good people, but yeah, vinyl, man. You know, I always tell people stay the fuck out of Target. Go to local shops and get your vinyl, because the Target shit is reprints on some levels, or you get these colored vinyl that nobody knows the fuck they are. So yeah, I like buying older vinyl and new vinyl. If I got Reasonable Doubt original vinyl. I got the original releases of 36 Chambers on vinyl. That's when the vinyl.
That was the first record I ever bought. My fucking Wu-Tang Clan 36 Chambers.
Yeah,
that was the first like record for listening purposes I bought.
Nah, that's worth it, man. Or even check out Second and Charles. You ever heard that spot? So Second and Charles, if you ever drive out the city, go by Gurney, or if you go toward Highland, Indiana. So like, I do IT, so I used to drive a lot. So I'd be driving through these neighborhoods, like, you know, Indiana, you got the meth, you got the truck stop, you got the video game people. So I was picking up shit along that path. You know, if I go out to Mishawaka, Indiana, right, up and down 65, I stop at these little stores. I'm like, oh, you got a TurboGrafx? Give me one of them. You got. I collect video game systems. You got a Neo Geo? Give me one of them shits. So I started, and you know, my guys here would be like, how the fuck you get those? I'm like, bought it from a crackhead in Indiana. Like, you bought it from a crackhead in Indiana? Yeah, man. Like, I know it's wrong. I contributed to his fucking edition, but he had a Sega Saturn, so I gave him $30.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I came up on a lot of equipment and technology from fellow crackheads in the neighborhood. So shout out our fellow.
Yeah. Shout out, man. Making dreams happen every day.
They come out of nowhere, dude. Like, I used to work in the kitchen. He'll come knocking the back door, bro. Pull up with all sorts of shit. Like, look, this is what I got today. I get a Milwaukee drill for $20, man. I could do the hot dog or some shit, man.
Dude, I got my De La Soul. I got my De La Soul vinyl off a guy like that, man. He came up 3 feet high and rising, and I said, "Where the fuck you get that from?" Oh man, it was on somebody's porch. I'm like, on somebody's porch? What the fuck is you up to, man? And so he goes, "You want it or not?" so you know, one of my guys is like, "What the fuck are you talking to?" Because you know, you talking to somebody, and he's trying to show me 3 feet high and rising, and I'm like, "What you want for it, man?" He goes, "Give me $10." I'm like, $10? That's all the fuck you want for it? I'm gonna give you 20 because the vinyl's like $100. I gave him 20, and it's like about 7-8 years ago. So I gave that vinyl now is like about maybe 2-something, 2.5, 300.
That's
so
like,
like
that Dilla joint on there, The Stakes is High, is a crazy record.
yeah,
bro.
I mean, you know, De La Soul is rare. If you get into the Wu-Tang vinyls are very expensive. Nas original releases are very expensive. Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt, that was the one I went after. I bought it from a kid from Japan. I bought it yeah, I went all the way up to Winnetka and bought Reasonable Doubt off a kid. His dad passed away. So I'm talking to this guy on Facebook and I was like, "You got Reasonable Doubt in your dad's collection?" "I got it." I'm like, "How much?" "I need $100." Like $100, you know, but you know, it's a little bit, it's more than that. So I'm like, "I give you 80. So I'm like, I gotta drive, we'll split the difference. I gotta drive up to Winnetka, I'm gonna give you $80. So I drove up there and I got Reasonable Doubt off this kid, and it was still rap, but my dumb ass opened it up and played it because I wanted to hear it. I want those people like, it's like wear your shoes.
Well, yeah,
no,
I got you.
Wear your shit. So why buy something to put in the box? That's that shoe culture shit. When you put it in the box and you stare at it, and then you sell it one day to somebody like a crackhead. So if somebody comes and gets your stuff for this much, it's money in the shoe culture, but as you know, vinyl and everything else and PlayStations and shit like that, everybody trying to make money. I can't, it's just stressful. I just want to enjoy my shit. You're right, because you know, you don't know how much time you got or when the fuck you check out of this place. Enjoy your shit, wear your shoes, be happy. Stop trying to make money on everything. It doesn't work that way.
That's facts. That's very facts, man. So like a lot of my even rare records, I still play everything because in my genuine opinion, just like the shoes, you know, it's like you don't know that they're good unless you've used it.
Right.
You gotta like it's different. Some things like like a car, fine. You know, throw some fucking new shit in there, it'll work. But like other things, like nah. Like how do you know that record isn't warped if you ain't ever pulled it out of the fucking pack? What if it's a misprint? You know what I mean? Shit like that. Like so
you got to put that weight on top to try to get that warp out. Yeah, I get like I built my table from scratch. I bought a project and then I changed the platter to acrylic. Then I changed the arm, the carbon fiber, and then I changed the needle. I changed the cartridge. So like when you with vinyl, if you buy a Crossley table, it's gonna scratch your shit up. And people always go like, don't. A lot of people like, I bought my table from Target. You can't borrow shit from me. No, you're gonna scratch my shit up. You gotta get the weights right on the arm. It's a science, that shit. Somebody saw me putting the table together one day. My guys go, "Fuck, it's like a scientist over here. He's over here measuring the weight of the arm." I'm like, "Yeah, I want my shit to sound crisp. I want it to sound a certain way." Yeah. And you know, tables, you're gonna put a lot of money into it, because you're gonna wear that cartridge out. You're gonna change the platter, you're gonna put your it's a lot of money in vinyl. I always tell people, like, if you ain't ready to spend no money, don't fuck with vinyl. Keep listening to that.
Like even the old Technics, bro, they're still like $500. You could get one probably for like a banged up one for like $350.
About $350.
Yeah, but like a nice one is still like $5. You're still paying $1,000 for a set.
$1,000 for
sure. So it's one of those things, and they're old. They don't make them the same. Even the new ones are cool. I've seen them, but it's just
then you need to. Then if you want to do right, you get the preamp. I got like a preamp in between mine, and I went gold on the fucking cables between the amp and the table, and then I run that into I run that into another amp in the house, basically. So nice. I want it to sound right, but you're right. The cables can fucking get you. People always go like, "I got red, white."
It's stressful, bro. I got some analog. I just recently got analog equipment. It's a lot of cables. But I work and I learn how to do cable management and shit. But it's still stressful, bro. It's a lot. And then having one wrong cable will fuck everything. You should be
the whole sound.
Mm-hmm.
And now this Atmos shit. Have you listened to the Atmos music tracks yet?
I have not. I've seen it. I've talked to people about it. I've watched videos on it. It looks crazy. I don't know. That's really all I gotta say. I haven't dove too deep into it, but it's a crazy concept and it's nuts. But it's like I'll never in my life own that technology or probably listen to shit with headphones of the quality to experience it genuinely. So I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, yo, I'm gonna listen to this shit on my iPad in the shower. Like, do you think your Atmos is gonna make a difference then? You know?
I mean, unless it's like 4K and 8K and the rest of that shit. Sometimes if you got like vision like a dog or a fucking eagle or something like that, you might see the quality difference. Like, you got a 4K screen that's only 50 inches or 60 inches, right? And you sit 3 feet away from the TV, so you're not gonna appreciate it. Like that shit don't start looking better until you get into the 70s, 80s, and fucking 90s. No crazy sizes. You know what I mean? That's where you really see the color saturation. Like music is finally catching up with video again in terms of how it sounds and how it feels. You know what I mean? Like you watch a movie right now, the audio is fucking spectacular on some of these movies right now. Like John Wick. You watch a John Wick movie when the gunshots and the movements, the kicks and punches are better. It's not like watching Kung Fu Sunday when we were kids. We were watching like the five deadly venoms or some shit where the mouth is like moving at the wrong speed.
Yeah.
So
we're at a height of a lot of things, man. We're at a height of a lot of shit. It's crazy though that we want to make it even better because it's like, for what? Like, why? You remember back in the day when people would be like, don't stare in the screen, and now we're putting fucking screens on our face. Like, what happened to those people? Like, what's going on? This doesn't make sense, but that's how like the world moves, man, and things change. So
yeah, man, we on that Dragon Ball Z shit right now, walking around with the glasses and analyzing each other right now, going straight for Vegeta.
Motherfuckers power levels over 9,000.
You imagine you walking into a club or whatever, basically looking at another rapper and be like, his bars is trash. You got your Apple Vision though. I mean, that's where we at right now.
Yo, I calculated your man's posture, and I'm gonna tell you right now, he ain't making it.
We gonna move on. We're gonna cancel this show right now. But yeah, Smoke, man, we definitely appreciate you for coming through, man. We definitely gotta get up again, man. Bring you on. We bring you and Dave and everybody on. I think that'd be a nice set. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. We should definitely do something like that. It would be a dope conversation.
All right, we got you. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna close out. Hey, definitely go listen to something dope today and check us out. Everywhere podcasts are available.
For sure.
All right.
Peace.
Dave, Garbanzo, Leno, Cheddar Soup, French Dave. They're all flame, but the number one soup is that soup Jumu. Soup Jumu.
Get the soup.
The Haitian soup. January 1st, independent soup. Oh, you don't know? You snooze.
The tide is turning, now's the time to pick a side. Like a flower blooming, time to photosynthesize. Stop burning up your vision, trying to visualize. See all this graffiti on the wall, got me mesmerized. You can do it too if you apply yourself. Focus on the goal and find your higher self.
Wealth for generations, greatness for your namesake. Can't wait on reparations or grant applications. Navigate segregation in light of the city's disposition. The Windy always had a tradition for greasy palm, sex workers, and missing pension funds. Reminiscent of growing up poor as a kid sure wasn't fun.
Look, I ain't come to cause no damn trouble for no one. The Caribbean's where my family done come from. To be a free man has always been my ambition. Speaking what you're thinking, that's the new family tradition.
And I didn't come to cause trouble for no one. Haiti, that's where my family come from. Be myself, always been my ambition. Speaking what you thinking, that's a new family tradition.
About the mud and dirt, I'm from the south, you heard. My pops taught me how to get it through that hard-earned work. Tan hermoso el país, but that corruption's worse. So is y'all copping work? Ain't no rest for the wicked, only death for sure. Don't waste your ticket, them blinding lights, I know they burn.
I'm not concerned, my spot is earned. I'm most determined to never learn enough to know it all. I try to follow protocol. I connect the dots between the plots with red string on black and white photo wall. The people at the fabric store are fucking sick of me. The clock don't stop, tick tock, hickory dickory. I felt the way they stared at me. They scared but also they intrigued. The flight attendants gave me dreams.
I ain't come to cause trouble to no one. Jalisco is where my family come from. Flipping wax has always been my ambition. Digging through these crates, that's the new family tradition.
Hey, I ain't come to cause no trouble to no one. The city of Chicago, that's where my family come from. To be MJ, but as a MC, been my ambition. Speaking what you thinking, that's that new family tradition.
We're back with the turtles. Tortuga. Yes, they just be getting some sun. Turtles like sunning. Turtles. There's another turtle. Turtles. Turtle.
That's crazy.
Yes, possibly.
But unless you tell me, I don't know.
Hey, I'm not a psychic, I'm not clairvoyant, but if the pilot pulls a Sully, I know to see bottoms buoyant. Pay attention to instructions, don't be rushing, don't be a Democrat, and please.
Thank you for listening to the HipPodHedz podcast, a podcast where no Vac and no Sage discuss their hip-hop inspired moments. Share, like, subs, comment to the show on YouTube and Spotify. Go out and listen to something dope today.